here is what I'm trying to do. I have here a product card to display all the information from a product, which will be kind of a card window that pops up. And if we go into browse mode here, you see what I'm trying to do is I want this button to create a click. Whenever you have a product, it may have different suppliers, and each supplier has a different supplier code. And so when you're making purchase orders, you can put their codes. Every supplier has a different cost. So when I click this, I want the user to be able to enter, select from the suppliers which supplier we have, and then enter the supplier code and the supplier cost, and then create new product. Well, but I don't want to create the new product before all the info is done, because a lot of times the user will start and they'll be like, wait a minute, I don't want to do this. I want to be able to X out. So what I've done is, if we go into layout mode here, we see that I have, I'm just using globals here. So I'm using what I call a text scratch and a number scratch. And then they can enter the information on the global fields and then hit create new product, and the script will then go and create that new supplier product and all of the associated information. But with this drop down here, so I'm using information here from the values from the supplier list, right? And so we can kind of see standard stuff, right? And we're displaying info from a different field, but as we all know, it doesn't display that data in the field, just in the drop down, right? So the problem now is that when I go over here, it shows the ID, not the name. So when they select a different supplier, it shows a different name. Well, my solution was, let's create this script here to copy or go and search for whatever the supplier's name is based on the supplier ID, and then plug that into another global scratch field, right? And because since this is not in here and we're not creating the new product yet, you can't use the next, the new product blank fields and just enter it, because we're going to wait until it's all entered and then you click the button for it to be entered. So there is no product yet to show stuff. So we kind of need to use the globals, I'm thinking. And so I created the second global scratch field to put over the top of this one. Right, so like as you can see here, I'll show you how it works. So now it's a script trigger. We open it up to whenever we select this, boom, it goes and searches and makes this global scratch become search for that supplier ID and then put that in there. Well, so when we go into layout mode and we put this field over the top of it, I'm sure you can guess what happens. Is it doesn't quite work right. Is that so now it's fine, but now this is driving me crazy. Everything works great here except for this moment here. When you click on the global scratch 1, it's showing this instead of that. And it's just driving me nuts. I want it not to show anything, right? It's okay if it's blank. So I did the next step, which was I said, well, what if I just make a rectangle, right? And put it over the top of this. Well, that still doesn't work, because whenever you click this, it comes to the front, always. And there's no way to say, always make this be in the front, even if I go, where is it? Yeah, even if I go here and put it on top, and it's locked and everything, still, when you go in, it still has the same problem. Whenever you click this field, right, the other one goes to the back. So my question is there a way to either not display this information here and display nothing, or is there a way to put a box over this and always make it the over the top? Oh, and then whenever you go here, you see that S3 pop underneath there. So all these behaviors are driving me crazy, but I don't want the user to ever really see this ID card. I just want the user to go in and select from there, but the actual information being stored is the ID number, but the user never sees the ID number at all. How can I do that?